Welcome to an all-new edition of Cocktails with Heather, where we get to talk about...
Well, I think it's because someone might have had a sexually transmitted infection.
An STI. I had a really bad STI. Actually, I had dysentery.
Dysentery.
Pretty sure it was dysentery.
Yeah. I'm Mike. That's Joe. That's Heather.
Were you hiding a watch up your ass?
I was.
For 2 years?
Yes. Then it all went bad.
It's not what I needed to hear.
Say the word. Don't forget my father's watch.
All right. So sorry about the hiatus, people. We apologize that you had to take a break, all 5 of you that listen, for our show. But it was merited, and we are back, hopefully, with some new information, some new conversation, and maybe some new questions. If some of you would like to, you can message us either on Facebook or Instagram. We have those options, as well as email us if you feel that's better. You know, from whatever weird email address under the name Peter North that you might have. And we are at cwhpodcast@gmail.com. All right.
Boom.
Except we're not live, so when this goes out tomorrow, that's okay.
Yeah, but it's good though for
but when
for
you want to
future podcasts. You know,
send it in right now, you could send it in and we could see it, and then you'll hear it tomorrow.
Yes.
As always, I'm 100% not super prepared for any subject because I like to be surprised as to what comes out of my mouth.
Spontaneous. So I believe the topic for discussion tonight is going to be ghosting and catfishing.
No. The topic for tonight is ghosting.
Well, thanks for fucking backing me up here.
Because, you know.
Later we will talk
see,
about
when he does that look and he pauses, you know he's going to...
All right, so whatever.
So we're talking about ghosting this evening.
So ghosting, this is a fun subject. This is like a new phrase, and I was not aware that this was actually a phrase.
I thought it just came from Call of Duty.
It might have. I mean, that's actually a legitimate thing. I don't know where it came from. I just know that this was something that was happening, and I didn't realize it was called ghosting. And then after it happened, and then I heard the term ghosting like a year later, I was like, oh, that's what that was.
I've been kind of ghosting on Facebook. You know, like I just don't talk to anybody anymore. Now, even when people's birthdays come up, I don't even say happy birthday anymore. I just don't give a shit. I just quit caring. Like,
and it shows in our fucking podcast.
Yeah, it was already shown before that.
Yeah, well, you know,
I quit caring about a lot of that stuff a while ago. I quit doing the regular birthday posts, and but other than that, I still participate in a lot of those things. But as far as dating goes, I know, you know, for me personally. As this subject came up and we started discussing it before we started recording was, I mean, it's happened. It's happened to me. It's happened a couple of times. It's happened to me by people who are regular in my life, ghost on something they're supposed to do, and then pop back up later. But I think like...
Remember me?
Yeah. Overall, I think the ghosting, as I've seen it transpire on the interwebs, on the interwebs or the... you know, the World Wide Webs as well, is that I guess guys will, and I say guys because I see it most often. I know girls do it too, but I see that guys will message chicks, talk them up, you know, everything, or they'll date for a while, and then all of a sudden they just go MIA. Like they're not answering text messages, they're not answering phone calls, they're just gone.
You know what I think? Like it's like a shame thing. Like what if like they had a bad breakup or something?
Maybe.
And they don't want to they don't even want it acknowledged, so they disappear. If they like Kevin Spacey it, they disappear for a while, and then they Louis C.K. it, and then all of a sudden they peek their head in, you know, into a place where people weren't expecting them.
Well, that, and it seems like the theory is in a lot of them, they'll ghost you, and then after a couple of months, they just pop back up again like, hey, stranger, haven't talked to you in a while. And that one has happened to me before as well, which is super weird. And I never really realized it was a thing. I just thought it was like this person, and he does have, like, I'm pretty sure mental issues.
There was a coworker I dated that was kind of like
Hood?
that.
Hood?
Yeah, no. I never dated that guy.
No, but I mean,
he doesn't ghost. He's always there. He's so I've got this buddy Clay, and I hope that he listens. And now, in fact, I'm going to message him the fact that I've talked about him, and he would
mentioned him.
Love this.
We've
attention.
Made him famous.
I did, and I don't know exactly how he pronounces it, but I'm pretty sure that it's Hoodmood.
Hoodmood.
Oh, that fucking guy.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Cycle chops.
He is, he was always a little bit different, even as kids. So when people are like, man, that guy's weird, I'm like, I don't know. He doesn't seem any different than fourth grade.
It reminds me of Trevor from Grand Theft Auto 5.
He could be like that. I don't know who Trevor is, but I'm going to assume.
Oh, you gotta fucking know who that is.
And he's just really
That's Joe for you.
intense on
References
stuff.
for people that don't get it.
And he's all about the shock
I
value,
do.
which is awesome. And for Clay, one of my things I described him one time to someone, and he remembers this because he brought it up a couple of years ago, and he said, "Didn't you tell someone that I was a mix between Beetlejuice and the Cat in the Hat?" And I said, "Yes, exactly. Say your name 3 times. Like, you don't want him knowing where you live because he's a combination of those. So he'll just like pop up like the Cat in the Hat, fucking come through your house and go shitty on stuff, and then just like bail out, and you won't see him again. You're like, what the fuck just happened here?
Where's all my alcohol?
Yeah, where's all my alcohol?"
I used to see Hood Mood on Facebook all the time, and the only things I can remember about him were that if it wasn't him talking about sex, he was talking about doing cocaine and or working on roofs with people.
And those are all legitimate things. In
Yeah.
fact, we had a conversation as we both were very surprised that after all these years, he still had his teeth, which we figured he would have lost.
Well, that's meth.
Yeah, well, that too.
He gave
Yeah.
me access to his fucking personal website.
Yeah.
He's
Only
like, "Here,
people he trusts.
Here's access to my website." Like, I barely know you. He's like, "That's okay. You know Heather." Like,
Yeah.
So he's
Okay.
a functioning partaker.
Yeah, not anymore. He's actually, how did he put it one time? He said, "I am clean but not sober."
so he drinks, but not.
Or smokes,
Yes.
or he smokes weed, or
Or
and has a
whatever.
beer.
Fucking, I don't know. But he does. He works on roofs. He does construction. He's done all kinds of shit. And
He's
he's got great stories.
He's been drug free for a while.
Yeah, he's got great stories. And again, I've known the guy since I moved from where I grew up at when I was in like 4th grade. So I have known him since 4th grade. And he was the guy that in 4th grade, you shouldn't be that into metal, even though it was like, the 80s.
Yeah.
And he had like the straight up like pants that were like pegged and then safety pinned in a perfect, neat,
I used to do
giant safety pin line all the way up his leg.
I
And
forgot
he
about that.
sang Motley Crue like consistently. That was his favorite band, and we were like in 4th or 5th grade. And I thought that is just really weird.
Yeah.
And he's
when
remained
I
the
started getting into
same
it.
person.
Hey, it's good for him, man. He figured out who the fuck he wanted to be at a young age, and he stuck with it.
And he's super open about it.
I
we
don't think he knows what he wants to be.
both have the same open book policy.
It's just him.
Dude, I'm
Yeah.
telling you what, I'm going to have my spiked haircut and my fucking basketball shorts when I'm 70.
Good.
See, there you go. We'll know what to expect.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what to expect from Clay.
I'm not wearing
every
no
single
goddamn
time.
Walmart golf shirts. I'll tell you that shit right now.
Yeah. Like is that a joke on me?
No,
No.
not at all. I'm talking about the old man golf
Oh,
shirts.
right. You know what I want? I'm going to perfect this look, which is the golf pants look,
Yeah.
but the high waiter golf pants look.
Okay.
They're not exactly shorts. They're not exactly pants. They're not exactly jorts.
They're like capris.
Yeah.
For
They're
They're
dudes.
like short
But
capris.
ugly fucking pants for guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. I like that theory a lot. I still just want to wear muumuus
Yeah.
all
Oh.
the time.
God damn it.
Dude, the one thing that I can't stand, and it's on the NFL Good Morning show that they have. So they have this commercial where they're all in Times Square and they're all looking like they're surprised because something's coming, like Godzilla or whatever. And at the end, they have the 4 hosts walking towards the camera, and one of those motherfuckers is wearing a suit and suit shorts.
Yes,
And all I want to do is stab him in his ephemeral artery.
dude.
He's
I
wearing
want.
suit shorts.
You don't know how bad I want
Fuck
a
him.
suit with suit shorts.
They're awful. They are fucking awful, especially
so
on like
awesome.
a guy that's as tall, like an NBA player.
Well, on a dude, I
Fuck
think that
you,
might
dude.
be weird. But like on a chick, like, I
Yeah,
don't
on a
think it's that
chick.
bad.
I think on a chick it looked fine, but on a dude it looks fucking stupid.
Suit shorts.
Suit.
I like it.
I
Bringing
love,
it back.
Look, I love
Bringing it
shorts,
back.
man. I absolutely
Schwartz.
love shorts. But
Schwartz.
Schwartz.
Suit shorts.
All right. So ghosting. So why are we talking about this tonight, Michael?
Okay, so
Oh, so she's
One-
allowed to call you Michael.
one of 2 stories. Yeah, you are not.
Oh, I thought I was in the circle.
No,
Go
nobody's
fuck
in the
myself.
circle. You can
No,
go fuck
I think I
yourself.
just barely survived that one, honestly.
There are
I think you just got tired of throwing things at your head when you called him Michael.
no, because coming from her doesn't sound like condescending.
When do I sound condescending?
Everybody.
It's like his
sounds
mom
it.
saying it.
Michael. That's condescending.
Yeah, so go fuck yourself. My name is Mike.
Mike.
So, but from her, it doesn't. Mike doesn't sound right. I don't know why.
Mike.
Yeah.
Mike.
Hump day. So, I met a girl online.
He met a girl.
Oh. I won't mention her name though. And we hit it off. We were talking. Yada yada yada. She's from Forest Hill.
Okay.
And she had just moved back from where she was living, and she's got special needs kids.
Okay.
Or a special needs kid, I should say. But regardless, I mean, it's
kiddo. Okay.
yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
Does he have autism?
I don't know. I don't care. So
That's a reference to another show we did.
yeah, I think I don't think so. I think he's actual special needs. He's homeschooled.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's not important. So we plan a date. We go out. She can only meet during. I mean, I have a schedule. She has a schedule. She's going to school for all this other stuff. So we meet for lunch down in Rockland, over by the college, and everything's going relatively okay. And this was the exchange. This is the last exchange. Happened the day after my birthday. That was kind of cool. All right. So. Let's see. Thanks for meeting me for lunch. I enjoyed meeting you in person, and I look forward to seeing you in the future. I said, I enjoyed it too. I look forward to seeing you as well. I know my schedule isn't the most ideal. And then later on, it's like maybe a week before work on a weekend, we could get together, blah, blah, blah. I said, that may work. I said, I don't do the show on weekends, just Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays nights.
Sounds boring, like English people having sex.
It's conversation, dude. What do you expect? And that was it. So that was August 29th. 22 days ago.
Okay, so who was the last one in this exchange?
Me. And then nothing.
Okay, so do you think she's waiting just for you to
I don't know.
suggest another date? And she's thinking you ghosted her?
No, because her profile isn't on Plenty of Fish anymore.
Oh.
But I've got a better one. And this is my favorite, which is this. So I had this conversation with some coworkers, which were, one of the guys brought up the fact that a lot of people from Walmart seem to be dating each other. I was like, there's a perfectly good explanation for
Yeah,
that.
it's enjoying the misery together.
No, there's a better explanation for that. And they go, why? And I went, have you ever been on a website like Plenty of Fish or whatever and started talking to people and you're like, so what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a contract killer or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then you're like, oh, that's cool. So I work at Walmart. Ghost. Just gone. And so... Literally.
I know it worked really well for me when I was fat with 3 kids and lived with my mom and grandma.
So I
bet that was a great conversation starter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to do the Jason Alexander thing and be completely upfront because it worked for him on Seinfeld. All of a sudden we started telling the truth about his shitty life. All of a sudden women were like, "Hot, nice to meet you."
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit, it works.
So this girl I was talking to again. So what do you do? Life insurance? How long? 11 years, blah, blah, blah. What do you do? I work for Walmart. Don't hold it against me. Plus, I do a couple podcasts each week, and we were blah, blah, blah. And that was it. Ghost. That was September 15th, so that was 4 days ago. I'm like
They're seeing unemployed.
And that's not the first time.
Basically, the note that I left you saying you scare women away was aptly timed, and I didn't even know it.
Yes, it was perfectly timed.
Fantastic.
You fucking psychic.
Jesus Christ.
But that's not the only thing. Like my friends, for some reason, I have a couple friends that won't fucking talk to me, other than at work. But one of them doesn't even fucking talk to me. She doesn't talk to me in 2 weeks, and I don't understand. I don't get it.
So friend ghosting is a thing too.
I'm not picking up my goddamn phone to send her another message because I'm the one that initiates 90% of the conversations. So
Some
forget
people
that.
are not conversation initiators. I know that I'm really bad about that in most instances. Like you won't hear from me for like months, and all of a sudden I'll send you a text and be like, "Hey, I dreamt about you last night," and then and I thought about you, and then that's it.
And I bring it up now, but at some point, like within the next day or so, it'll happen. Like, hey, what are you doing? Like.
Yeah.
It's a psychic
I
intuition.
just fucking talked about you on the podcast because you're being an asshole.
Retard. Yeah, I don't.
But the whole Walmart thing, that isn't the first time that's happened. What do you do for work? I work for Walmart.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't know. I don't know how I
I'm
would have
looked down
processed
upon
that.
because I work for a company that I have to bust my ass working for regardless.
No, I think it's honestly, to be blunt, I think it probably has something to do with they probably see it on the level of like a a bag boy or a a fast
you have
food
no
worker
ambitions, right?
or
Yeah,
something
exactly.
like that. That's
Yeah,
probably what it is.
It's not the fact that they didn't ask me about my past, which is so. What'd you do? Well, I owned my own business, and then my father died of cancer, so that business went out.
Yeah, nobody cares about that. They only care about what money you're making now.
Yeah, and then I worked for 3 of the biggest tech companies on the planet. And then I worked for the Screen Actors Guild, and it just goes on. And then I got into auto sales, but that's toxic.
See, here's the issue: and this, I want to say that I'm not guilty of this. I want to act like I'm a fucking martyr, but I don't think that I am. But I mean, lots of guys. There were a few guys that I dated that chicks that I talked to about him were like, "What?" I'm like, "Why did you even talk to him?" I'm like, what? And they turned out to be super cool guys. Like, there's one guy in California that I met, and he didn't really have any necessarily discernible job when I met him. He had just recently moved here from out of state again, moved back home, and he was trying to figure out what he wanted to do for work. And I don't even know where he was living, to be honest with you. It could have been a dumpster. I don't know. But he was cool, and like we hung out. And I mean, it turns out the guy does sales. I mean, and so he's still doing sales, and now he's doing it more appropriately and more amply, I guess.
He's not selling drugs no more.
I don't think he was ever selling drugs. I think that I'm aware of, maybe. But you know what? If that supplemented his income, who am I to judge? Because I've been known to peddle a pill or two when I get some in my hands.
Hey, if it's not hurting anybody.
It's not. There's a need, and I'm fulfilling that need.
Yeah, there you go.
For a small profit. So, I mean, as we do that, and then, I met a guy that was super cool. He actually had a job. He was a bouncer at various nightclubs and places and did bartending, but he still lived with his parents. So it's like there's that balance. And he was very hesitant to tell me that, and I didn't care.
Because there's a lot of women that superficially do care.
They do, and I mean, I get that. But see, at the time, I had my own place, so it was like, he could come see me or whatever. I didn't have visions of me, slumber partying at his parents' house or anything.
I think that's also his own personal inadequacies. Like, he knows that he isn't living up to his own expectations, so then he also sees it as a negative that he's living with his parents. And I mean, and that could be. I mean, it's not necessarily the most awesome thing in the world. I mean, I get it. But he was much younger too. So I mean, but even at 30-something, you anticipate somebody has like an apartment or something, and when they're living with their parents, it kind of puts that on there. My husband is a great example. We met and he had a shitty job. Well, I mean, it sounds nice, but it was actually shitty when you get down to like the pay and everything. And, when we started before we actually dated, he became unemployed. So he was unemployed and he had 2 kids and was a roommate in somebody's house. And he basically had like a bedroom in this person's house. And guess what? That was still okay. He's a cool dude. So I don't know. I just look past that. But I think anybody else like walking into that situation, most of the women that I know are just walk into it and they're just like, you what? Oh, you don't have a job and you live where? Yeah, no, I'm not interested. Yeah. And they just kind of boop, it drops right there. Yeah, he was like your rescue shelter mutt.
Yes.
You saved him.
Yes, kind of like that. I did. I adopted him. I fostered him.
Or did he rescue you?
I fostered him and then adopted.
There you go.
It became his forever home. Forever home. But I mean, I think
that's a little dig at you, Ryan. That's all.
What you're running into there. I mean, I think they're hearing that and they're immediately thinking like, although the funny thing is if I say bag boy, but I mean, there used to be a really good bag boys union. Yeah. I mean, that's a sweet ass retirement there. So they're not thinking ahead.
No, well, yeah, what they're thinking is you work for a company that caters to white trash, and we do, but
I resemble that remark.
we do, and it's bad at some points, but Jesus, I mean, judging people on where they work, and this is not the first time that's happened. There are multiple instances where people are like, "Hey, so what do you do for work?" And all I want to say is, I work for a multi-conglomerate distribution warehouse and manufacturing center.
Yeah. Work in retail.
Yeah.
$1 trillion corporation.
But, it comes out Walmart.
And what I meant to say and what it came out as.
Yeah. And then they're like...
It was founded by visionary Sam
And then they're like, I know what they do. They look at their phone and then they drop it like it's fucking lava. And they're like, I don't want to talk to that guy.
Maybe you should just tell me you work for Sam's Club because it's the same it's the same company, but maybe that sounds better.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you could do at Sam's Club that would be better. Like what, shift manage or something like that? Like, I don't know. Like, take your flat cart over to station 5. We're all full.
Do you know there's a reason why I'm not a manager at Walmart?
No.
Yes, there's a reason why.
It's because you hate people?
Well, that. But secondarily, the reason why I cannot move up in Walmart is because of my schedule. I don't have open availability because of everything that's been going on in my life. So I have to have specific days off. I need Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays off right now. But
would you want to move up anyway?
Do you want to manage?
Yeah, you don't want to fucking manage.
No, because I already manage anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but do you get paid to manage?
No, I don't.
Do you get that 50 cent an hour bump?
Like
Can you buy that extra Snickers bar every paycheck?
It's like a $5 an hour bump.
To get a better parking space.
Yeah, it's actually not bad.
That's
but it's still not great. I mean, it's $18 an hour, But that's discrimination. That is discrimination. They are not putting me in positions because of my availability is not what they want it to be. That's discrimination.
If I wasn't available to work my work during the hours they needed me, I don't think that they would hire me even.
I know, but
let alone promote
I
me.
work the hours that they need me to work. Like my availability is basically from 9 a.m. until close. Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays.
Are there managers on your schedule?
Yes.
So they have managers that work those schedules, but maybe they just don't have an opening right now for a manager on that schedule?
I was passed on several positions because of that, especially customer service supervisor. And I'm the one that trained,
electronics, too.
Electronics. I know all the departments, with the exception of deli, and I can still run deli.
He definitely knows the lingerie section.
I know the lingerie section.
That's creepy.
Well,
He likes to help little old ladies try on stuff.
When you're spending 70% of your time in there, but I know...
He's like Wilson.
I know hardware.
Hi, we're looking into lingerie.
Hey, neighbor.
I can tell you a few things.
How you doing? How you doing? I know layaway.com, electronics, automotive, all that other stuff.
Maybe you should put all this in your profile.
I should.
And then I've chosen not to move into management due to my personal philosophies.
Well, my personal philosophy is this: my hours are my hours, and
therefore,
I need those hours for my own personal time, and part of that personal time is taking care of my family. And if they don't like that, then they can go fuck themselves.
Well, and that's why you work at a place that has working hours during those times.
Right. I mean, if I had to work like a regular 9 to 5, that's different because I can do 9 to 5 and still have 2 days off.
Right.
But that's not an option for most of the jobs that I've ever worked at.
Right.
In fact, with the exception of, I've never taken a vacation. I haven't taken a vacation in 20 years. Literally haven't gone anywhere out of state in 20 fucking years.
Until December.
I haven't, with the exception of being fired. I don't get weekends off. And even then, I mean, with all the stuff that we do, I don't know what a fucking weekend is.
Weekends are overrated anyway.
So
they're overcrowded.
They really are. I don't even recognize the fact that I have a weekend.
Yeah,
it's just another day.
It's Saturday and Sunday. I mean, but it's still
just another day. Just another day for too short. Biatch.
Yeah. So I get 3 days off. So fuck you all.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? You're only a slave to the system as much as you need to be.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't bump up to full time when my job offered it to me. I said, no, I'll stay part time.
I take all the hours, all the time.
All the hours. No, I think it's important. I mean, if you're unwilling to do the job, that's one thing. I'm willing to do the job. I just have parameters. And I told them this before they even hired me. And they're like, yeah, that's fine. You want to work weekends? Okay, you're in.
Yeah, we need someone to work weekends.
Like, okay.
Oh, we want you to manage. Nah.
Yeah. And that was asked of me on Monday. One of the managers goes, so what are your plans for Walmart? I said, I don't have any. She goes, what do you mean? I went, I do not have any plans for Walmart. I said, I don't make plans like that. I don't make plans. I don't do the 3-year. I don't do a 5-year. I don't do a 7-year plan. And there's reasons for that. Life's too short. I'm not going to fucking plan for a career at a company that I cannot rely on.
Didn't the guy on Big Daddy have a 5-year plan?
Yes.
The guy with the old balls.
Yes.
He's got a 5-year plan.
Yeah.
Yes.
What? Not dying?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. You got the 5-year plan,
Yeah,
Mike.
I don't.
You should put that in your profile.
I've got a
forgot
Look
five.
at you got the 5-year plan.
Not dying.
It's like Christy Swanson never gets used in anything, and she finally shows up in a movie, and it's with Adam Sandler, and she's banging an old dude.
Yeah. So I
think that is.
and she was surprised about that. I was just like,
But the chick that you had lunch with, she already knew that you worked at Walmart
yeah,
and still met you for lunch.
right.
And continued a conversation.
Correct.
She didn't get up and go to the bathroom and not come back.
Yeah,
she didn't.
she didn't.
You didn't text her like, "Hey, it was good to meet you," and she didn't say anything. Like there was a conversation. After.
I didn't text her, send nudes. You know, I was really nice.
There you go. See, okay, and you haven't shown her your junk yet. Obviously,
I don't ever do that
So
unless it's in person.
So I mean,
And even then, it's just
and if her
like
profile's gone, I'm wondering if maybe
she found somebody or
found
something.
somebody and or was talking to numerous people at once, and
Yeah, and I'm good with that, but you know,
which is typical.
let a guy know.
Yeah,
At least you got to go on the date.
warn a brother.
Let a brother know that, hey, you know, I'm good. If you are, you know, if you're stacking people like a suit of cards,
Yeah.
I'm fine with that, you know, and because you got to figure out your place in this world, right? And
I was always very honest about that.
yeah,
And by the way, that was a new branch out thing for me because I mean, in years past, I mean, it was never really. This is how old I am, I guess, to some listening, is that it was not acceptable for a woman to date more than one person at a time, which our good friend David once let me know, in not so uncertain terms when we were teenagers.
That means you
And I was like,
whole,
wait, but you're seeing other people too, so I can't talk to any.
No, it's a double standard.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, but we're not actually together. No. Oh, okay.
yeah.
You know.
I've always been of the mind of when my friends like, oh, we're dating and this and that. I was like, is there a ring on your finger? No. Then fuck him. You can do what you want.
Yeah.
Are you guys living together? No, we're dating. Who cares?
Yeah, if you're just dating, then you
If
can
you're not happy,
date
walk the
other
fuck away.
people. If you decide that you are going to be exclusive, we're only going to work on this relationship, that's different. That needs to be made known.
Yeah, if you made that that verbal commitment, then yeah, that's different.
And I'm not saying that I'm great at the juggling. I think I'm a poor scheduler when it comes to that.
Yeah, but you got to let somebody know that you're doing that.
Well, I mean, and even
I
with that,
think that's only fair.
right, you just kind of assume. And usually it would come up when, I mean, it was almost more of like when they would approach me and say, I don't know if I'm ready for a relationship. And I'd be like, okay, cool. So we'll just keep doing what we're doing. And then when I'm done with this, I'll just let you know.
What is,
Like, because I was already seeing other people. Like, I didn't know there had to be an announcement
yeah.
that you didn't want a relationship. Like, I figured if you did, you would let me know.
I saw a meme earlier that says, girls never tell you that they were in a relationship. One day it's just like, how you doing? And next thing you know, they're cooking your food. or asking you if you did you eat?
Or they're
Did you
taking
eat?
over
Yeah.
a drawer in your house.
Yeah, they don't. It's just all of a sudden you're in a relationship you didn't know.
Where the fuck does toothbrush come from?
Where does toothbrush come from? They, I mean, I think that really does it, but I think it actually hit home a little bit more for some of the guys I was seeing when I actually did start seeing someone and had to make all the text messages of, hey, so by the way, started seeing somebody exclusively and, won't be seeing you anymore. So thanks for the thrill.
Have a nice life.
Finger guns. And I'm out. Right. Yeah. And I think a lot of them were like, what? Like, I don't.
What did I do wrong?
Like, but you said you didn't want a relationship, so this is cool, right? Because you didn't want one, so I found one, so I'm going to go do that.
But then they
now.
get angry at you.
Yes, yeah, that actually did happen with one of them. But
You ever had someone that was extremely spiteful after you left them? Like they got mean and like vindictive.
oh yes, I did. I had a guy that I texted that I was going to be seeing somebody exclusively, and he got very, very, very vile, very mean, very rude,
childish.
Oh God, awful, just absolutely awful. And he was one of these that he was really into. I think I ended up like seeing him in person like one time, and the rest of it was just kind of all like text or phone calls or online stuff. And he was very vocal that he liked to be a dominator, which is fine. And I think that I interpreted that as to like here are the boundaries of that. And I think he took that a little bit more like, I'm going to run your whole life type of thing.
Yeah.
So like there were a couple instances where like he would say, "What are you doing?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I'm getting ready to go to bed." And like the FaceTime would pop up. Well, like I don't like talking on the phone anyways. I sure as fuck don't like FaceTiming. I'm like, I look like shit. I don't want to have this fucking discussion.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Snapchat.
I am in bed. I'm stoned. I'm watching TV, and I don't want to fucking talk to anybody right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm by myself. I'm enjoying my alone time. And I wouldn't answer, and then the text would start. Like, what are you doing? How come you didn't answer? Pick up the phone. What's going on?
Run.
Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God, are you fucking kidding me right now? So this guy was really bad about it. Like, and I was very thankful that he had no idea where I lived. But I mean, it was one of those like where I blocked him on everything. He found a way to message me.
Oh.
So it was weird. It was weird. I haven't heard from him in a really long time though. I think I effectively blocked
How long ago?
everything. This was before my husband and I got together. Right before my husband and I got together. So
A little over a year?
it's been 2 years. 2 years.
All right, so he's probably moved on to the next stalking.
I hope so.
No.
I sure hope so.
No, he's still
Waiting
Dealing
for me
with
to
it.
unbake him. Maybe he texts me every couple of weeks just to see.
Did you guys ever do anything? Did you guys
just
ever
to
hook up?
see. Yeah, but I mean, like one time.
Damn, he must have been the best he ever had or something.
magic pussy.
Okay, so again, I would like to bring up something we discussed before about the golden pussy.
Bippity boppity blowjob.
Yeah. I like that. I'm going to do that next time. But yeah, I mean, and I still like, I mean, there was a couple of other people that they were really super cool about it. And then for a little while, I would hear from them every once in a while, like, hey, just checking in to see how things are going, and I'd be like, I'm still in a relationship. And actually, my husband was one of those people that I dumped in the first round.
Yeah.
Anyways, when I like arm shelved everybody. And
First round.
the first round of cuts.
Fuck America's Got Talent.
It kind of was. Like, we're going to cut our first round of people. And, he got cut.
Heather doesn't need dick.
Yeah. So don't need-
Round one.
Round one. He was kind of arm shelved in lieu of somebody else. That didn't work out. And I just didn't bring anybody else back into the rotation except for him.
Fuck, you're beating him off with a stick.
So I just left.
Beating him off.
I just left Ryan in the rotation and kind of just left everybody else out of it.
It's like a hockey line. He's in the rotation.
He's in the rotation.
Line 1, Ryan. Line 2, Ryan. Line
Ryan.
3, Ryan.
Also Ryan. He was the only rotation there for
We're
a while.
gonna make a trade.
And then I did another
Ryan.
round where the guy who I decided to be in a relationship with kind of ghosted me. Speaking of, same guy ghosted me, and I was like, well, double middle finger you, motherfucker. And hooked back up with Ryan again, and then again had to say, yeah, again, I don't know if this can work out, blah, 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 blah. Well, because he didn't want a relationship. He was very vocal about that.
So so third time was the charm?
Third time was the charm.
Okay, so what was it the third time that the first two times didn't do it?
Stick.
Yeah.
It's persistence.
I think this time, it was, and I was still in the process of where I told him that I was.
He was wearing clown shoes.
Yeah, he. I think his best friend, who he usually took the advice of, don't get in a relationship, don't get a relationship. His best friend, I guess, found out
He brought Chardonnay.
that I once again
Champagne.
unceremoniously told Ryan, yeah, that's okay. Pause. I'm going to go pursue this now since you don't want to do anything, so I'll put you on pause over here. And I guess his best friend looked at him one day and said, are you fucking stupid? The fuck are you doing? This is absolutely ridiculous. Are you fucking kidding me? It's Heather. Jesus Christ. And it was like a whole discussion about, that I wasn't a piece of shit and everything. And he told him that he was retarded. And I think it was like that night he texted me. He's like, so, hey, about that. And that's where we kind of had the discussion that if he was interested in being in a relationship, that's where I would be happier. So dumped the other guy, got together with Ryan, and
and
Bob's your uncle.
and then we got married on TV.
then
Bob's your uncle.
Good Day Sacramento.
Yeah, then we got married on TV.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the ghosting happens. Like, that's what I'm saying. Even in an active relationship, it happens. And I had a guy I talked to all the time, hooked up with a couple of times, but still stayed pretty good friends with for a long time. And I was going to be somewhere, and we talked about, oh, well, if he traveled X, then we can meet up, blah, blah, blah. I get to my destination, and all of a sudden he's not answering texts. And he didn't all weekend. It was just like, it was nothing. I heard nothing from him, and I don't hear anything from him for like another week. And then he was like, oh, hey, really missed you when you were in town. And I think he's accustomed to people like just kind of pussyfooting around it, and I don't, because I'm like, oh, really, motherfucker? Because I texted you X, 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 and X, and I was in town, so you can go fuck yourself. And luckily enough, I know this guy well enough that I actually was able to call him out on it. And I said, were you depressed that weekend? Were you going through like a depression thing? And he's like, yeah, actually I was. So it was like a mental health thing, which is totally understandable, but it just kind of sucked that I had to miss out on the dick that weekend, I guess. So, because of his fucking depression. So, I mean, it happens. It happens either when you're regularly doing it, or people ghost you and you never hear from them again. Or like I said, you can be like what you feel is an active relationship with somebody and they just
fuck, dude,
ghost out.
I've never done any of this ever. It's like when I hear about it, it's just like, because it's like just a normal thing, like a normal way of life when you're not married to someone. And I've never done that because I always ended up hooking up with the person and then either being single for a long ass time or being with someone for a long time.
I think for me personally, if I look at it from my edge, because like, I mean, this is where I have to balance my anxiety with my bluntness. So a lot of times I have no problems just telling people like, no, I don't want to fucking talk to you and here's why. But the anxiety portion of me, especially as I get older and that gets bigger, it's just so much easier to ignore it, just not deal with it. Like if I could just not text or talk to this person, that would be super easy. If this person could just go away. And I think that's where some of it comes from. They just want erase. Like, well, let's just erase that this ever happened. It's like, what is it, Bob Ross? It's like, that's a mistake. Oh, it's okay. It's a tree now. It's a happy little tree.
Let's put a babbling brook there.
Yeah, this is a mistake, but now it's a cloud.
Very nice.
It's a murder scene now.
It's blood everywhere. Oh my God, I was in Nam.
It's a happy little bloodbath.
I think that might be. I mean, I'm just talking for people because I haven't really done it myself that I'm aware of. If I have and somebody's listening, write in and let me know that I'm full of shit and that I ghosted you. That's fine. I'm totally cool with that too. But
I think
it's the anxiety piece of the puzzle that makes me slightly understand that. Like, oh, you have anxiety about it and you don't want to deal with it, or you're having an anxiety attack and you can't deal with it. Like, okay, that makes sense. But like this other motherfucker that I was talking to, like I don't think it was an anxiety thing. I think it was because he was juggling like 5 or 6 bitches and they all thought that they were in a relationship with him and he was in a relationship with no one.
This is fascinating to me, like the casual sex thing. Like I said, because it's never happened for me. Besides a couple incidents. I never had that casual thing where someone and you're fuck buddies for a while and if you need the dick or the twat in my case,
or the dick for you, whatever.
Yeah,
or the hermaphrodite.
Yeah, no, trannies.
No, hermaphrodite, much better.
Hot tranny. See, that's why you need to talk to my buddy Clay. He likes the hot trannies too.
That's all fucking creepy. Anyway,
I don't care who you are. Hot trannies are still good looking.
They are.
Just have to say it.
Until they
take
talk.
their pants down.
Until they talk.
No.
And then you hear some of the dude in their voice.
Yeah. Well, it depends on if they still have the dude in their voice.
Did someone just say steak?
All the ham.
I want all the ham. But yeah, the whole thing about casual sex is fascinating to me because I've never gone through the casual sex thing. It's just on a daily or weekly basis, you can still just go and fucking bang someone that it's like untasted candy for me or something.
And the fun part about being a chick or just being Heather, I don't really know which one it is like if Ryan like tomorrow was like, hey, you know what? I just decided I don't want to be married anymore. I could probably get dick within like 6 hours.
Or less. You could just walk out into the street and go.
6 hours.
Well, I mean,
walk in the middle of the street.
I don't want the tweaker down the road.
Like dudes would literally be throwing their dicks at you as you walk out the house.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
Yeah, it'd be like a hot dog
That
factory
happens.
in a tornado.
Even at my fattest, it's not a problem. I don't know why.
A dick tornado.
I don't know why. We actually had jokes about that, me and my friends.
Cocknado.
It's like it's just coming at me. It's just
new porno.
It's on my face. Get it out.
My friends used to joke about that all the time. There was a meme, and it was like as soon as a chick says that she's single, and it says her inbox, and there's a cat sitting there with like all these hot dogs.
Get the fuck away from me.
I think it's also funny that it's called an inbox.
Yeah.
As opposed to the outbox.
You know what? I didn't really think about it, but I've been ghosted on Plenty of Fish. I remember you were actually involved with it.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
A ghosting triangle?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I was talking to this girl for a few weeks, and she had kids, and she was still involved with the father of the kids in a way where he comes over and watches the kids and stuff like that.
While she gets dick.
Probably.
Okay, fair enough.
And so yeah. So everything was going cool, you know. Like I said, we were talking for a couple weeks, and you know, it was great. You know, she was digging me, I was digging her, you know, and I knew it wasn't one sided because she was paying me a lot of attention and stuff like that. You know, and not overly doing it, but still, you know. So finally, after a couple weeks, I said, you know, I want to take you out. Let's go out to dinner or something, right? And she goes, okay. You know, and I made something simple like, you know, Olive Garden or some shit, and I said, you know, also if you want. Afterwards, you know, we can go to the drive-in.
Eat my breadstick.
You know, and if I said if you
unlimited soup and salad,
I said, look, and if you you know, if you feel like if you do want to go,
that?
you know, and I was very accommodating. I was like, look, in case you're like, you know, feeling weird about anything or like, you know, cautious. So if you want to be safe, you can come in your own car. You know, whatever you want to do, I can pick you up or come in your own car. Whatever you want to do, right? Come in your own car.
Come in your own car.
Right. Well, you can come in any car you want. You know, I'll deliver. But. So the day of, I mean, then this is what made it even weirder when it got to the ghosting part was leading up to that, the last few days before we were going to go out, she even texted, you know, sent me a message on Plenty of Fish saying, we are going to go out, right? We really are? And she sounded enthusiastic about it. And I said, fuck yeah, we're going to go out. Yeah, hell yeah, let's do this. I haven't changed my mind. Have you? She goes, no, I want to go, right? All of a sudden, we get to the day of the date, right? And it's like about, I think it's about between 4 and 6 hours before the date. And I, you know, my insecurity thing, of course, I go on to Plenty of Fish just to, you know, see, you know, I keep reading over our conversation and shit. And because I'm excited about it. And she's gone. Her profile is fucking gone. Like, I'm not, it wasn't gone. I was blocked. That's what it was. I was blocked. So I couldn't even look her profile up. And yeah, I had to go in through another thing pretending to be someone else, or you know, just being a new user.
Is this how you came into this picture? Yes. You went and found her on Plenty of Fish.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I asked him if he could contact her and give her my phone number and say, hey, just in case there's some kind of misunderstanding or something, because I've always jumped to conclusions when it comes to things, especially when it comes to women.
I was the nice guy in this, and I didn't send her a "you are a dumb cunt." I sent her a message. I said, hey, you blocked Joe. Why don't you just tell him what's going on instead of doing this bullshit, you know? But I was nice about it. And nothing.
Yeah. I don't have answers for some of these people. I really do not.
And so I show, just in case there was a misunderstanding.
She blocked me too.
Because I've been misunderstood before. I mean, I've misunderstood something.
She already worked at Walmart.
And then I jumped to a conclusion, and then I look like a fucking asshole afterwards. So I was like, I already know what's going on, but just in case, I'll be devil's advocate or whatever. So I said, fuck it. I went to the date anyway. And I waited there at the Olive Garden for over an hour past when she was supposed to meet me there. She never fucking showed up. And I remember I was depressed about it for about an hour, and then I was over it. And I was done with Plenty of Fish, I think, afterwards as well.
I'm just now remembering that I did this to somebody once.
Did you?
I did. I just remembered this.
Why'd you do that to somebody?
Okay, I gotta dig in the memory banks here, because all of a sudden as you were talking, I had like this flash of it. So this is why I need people to help me remember some of my stuff.
I've got a friend. I've got a story about my buddy Lincoln. My buddy Lincoln.
Lincoln. I've been thinking. So I want to say I was okay. So I'm trying to remember where I was living. I was living next to fire station. I was in a duplex. I remember the window. Okay, so I was 21.
Yeah.
22 at the time, so it's like 20 years ago now. And I was talking to this guy, and I think it's when texting was first kind of happening. Does that sound about right? Because I don't remember actually speaking with him. I remember a message.
Yeah,
of some
it's
sort.
about that time.
And it was probably like where I had to hit the button like 3 times to get like an M or whatever it was.
Oh, I hated that shit.
So, I had met this guy. He got my number. I met him in a bar. He got my number. Local guy. I remembered his family name slightly from something. Anyways, so we make a date. He's going to take me out to dinner, blah, 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 blah. Then probably about 30 minutes before I'm supposed to meet him, he sends me a message and says, oh, by the way, my license is suspended. you're going to have to drive. Can you come pick me up at my parents' house?
He's a Dewey.
So immediately I'm finding out again, lives with parents, which is not a big deal. Although I am like at this age and living on my own, but, that he has a DUI and it's enough where he doesn't even have his license right now. So it's not like I had a DUI or I had like, and this was, the laws were older then. So I think like you had to have a couple before you actually like lost your license at that point.
Yeah. And was it even allowed to have car insurance yet?
Yeah. I don't know.
Because I think it went into effect in like 98, 97, 98.
Yeah. I don't remember what year, but it was probably like 99, 98, 99.
Okay.
And so.
No, because I had car insurance.
Yeah,
when I was 16 years old, that's when the law was in effect. That was fucking 86.
In 97, it wasn't a law yet because I got pulled over and I didn't have show proof of insurance when I was driving my grandma's car.
Here's the thing is I think this was probably, now that I'm really thinking about it, a combination of those giant red flags coupled with my intense desire not to want to do anything. Because even though I'm extroverted in some ways, I'm very introverted. So there are days where I make super awesome plans, like this sounds like the best idea ever, and then I get home and I'm like, that is the last motherfucking thing I want to do right now. I just want to sit here in the dark and eat popcorn and drink Jack
It's like you get all dressed up to go to the lake and then you open the door and the sunlight hits you in the face. And
like,
then
nope.
then you shut the door and you just drop all your shit on the floor and just go sit on the couch.
Yep, just noping out of today. I like to nope out of things a lot, and I'm pretty good about keeping commitments, but that was one, I think, where I didn't even feel like it.
1984.
And then it was red flags galore. So I just didn't go pick him up. I didn't leave him
really
anywhere.
Weird.
He's at his own house. So I just didn't do that. And so then I'm sitting in my house, and it's dark because it's me. But my house was like right on a main drag. I was kind of set back from the road, but it was right on a main drag. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden I noticed I see headlights, and they went by a couple of times. And I looked out and I could see a car going back and forth. And I'm pretty sure it was probably him seeing if I was at home, because he knew where I lived.
Right.
But my thought then
Which
is
immediately
as I open up the blinds, well, that's not even as scary as the dude that was on my lawn and other shit and notes and crap on my car from customers. But I open up the blinds and I'm looking out and he's driving, and I do distinctly remember the first thing I thought was, motherfucker can't drive to pick me up, but he's going to drive by my house.
Yeah.
Are you creative? I think not. No, sir. So that was I did ghost that guy. I ghosted that guy.
I fucking ghosted someone. I forgot about this.
See?
Karma.
Again.
Karma.
Well, this
maybe
this
this was my karma.
because she did a false representation thing.
Was her name Karma?
Her name was Heidi something. I can't remember. Well, I think I know her last name, but I'm not going to say it. But her name was Heidi, and she lived in Tracy. Thank God she lived in Tracy. And I was talking to her
God's country.
I was talking to her on Flirtomatic.
What?
Flirtomatic.
Doesn't exist anymore.
And that was when I had the cell phone where you had to fucking do the, when you do the text, you had to do the
I was so out of the loop for so long.
Yeah, and so I was talking to her on Flirtomatic, and I think we were talking for at least a month or two. And it got to a point where we actually started exchanging phone numbers and talking about meeting. And every time you saw a picture of her, you just saw her face. Never saw her body. And you could tell you definitely knew she was overweight, and that's fine. I'm not too picky, but I am picky at it to a certain point. And my point is, I am not into tank asses. Ooh. And she. Okay, so finally,
I'm doing it on purpose.
She sends me a text. She sends me a photo of herself in front of the bathroom mirror,
plenty of fish.
And she had it was like this. Like, it was like a pear.
This is called roulette.
It was going down, and it just, all of a sudden, when it got down to her belly and her thighs, it went, and it fucking was just...
that doesn't explain it, and we are on fucking radio, so explain the bloop.
Like, into a pear. Right. So, it just all of a sudden went giant-ass booty?
It went from... It's trying to stuff...
People pay a lot of money for that.
It's trying to stuff 500 pounds of sausage into a 10-pound
container.
Yeah,
it's like when a snake swallows a deer, and then...
but on each leg.
The deer hasn't gone all the way down. It's like in the middle.
But on each leg.
Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So look at the thighs all the way up to
it's like two snakes trying to swallow a deer.
Yeah. And so it was like...
And they meet in the middle.
Two conjoined snakes trying to swallow a deer.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, it was like Mimi from Drew Carey's show on weight gainer.
It's like those fake Kim Kardashian pictures where she's real skinny up top and has a big ass on the bottom.
And so I being the nice guy that I am, I just responded with very nice, right? But my mind, well, I was saying it out loud because she couldn't hear me, but I said, "What the fuck, you fucking liar!" You know, just like I said, that's false representation because she already know what I look like the whole time, and it was kind of like that. Yeah, she was like, "Damn!" So.
For those of you that can't see that, Mike is up here bringing up pictures of
tank ass,
but actually getting photos of.
I keep expecting Ace Ventura to come out of that.
I'm pretty sure that's a rhinoceros's ass, and then an actual tank on one, and that chick doesn't have an ass at all. Yeah. But that is a tank ass.
That's tank ass, man. Where the ass is.
And
just
now
huge.
there's a guy with a tank top that says "Real men eat ass."
I don't need to wear a shirt that says that. I'll just prove it in the right time. So I ended up slowly, not talking to her as much. And then one time I sent her a message. She didn't respond, so I just took it as, okay, I guess we're done talking.
We've agreed upon this now.
And that's weird as fuck.
It's not real.
Yeah, it can't be.
Anyways.
So...
He's bringing up like pictures of fake asses.
I just looked
now.
up gigantic fat ass.
Damn!
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
That is not
Jennifer Love Hawlett. Holy shit! All right, so you see that at Walmart all the fucking time. The people that have to ride in the carts. Some people that are so big that the carts like
continue on with your fucking story.
Well, you're the one showing the pictures, man.
Who
you know
cares?
I'm distracted.
Keep fucking focused.
Oh, look at the kitty. So, I quit texting her, and then all of a sudden, about a month or two later, she comes on to Flirtomatic, and she goes, "What the hell happened to you? Where did you go?"
Oh no, you ghosted her.
And I didn't ever respond. But then, every once in a while, her profile would show up on Facebook as people you may know.
I've had that. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
And then and I found out that I think you the one that told me that if that does that, that means that person has looked you up.
Probably.
Really?
Yeah. So that means she looked me up on Facebook. And yeah, I'm
never gonna look at that the same again. The suggested people.
Yeah. That means that they looked you up. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, bastards.
My buddy Lincoln went online. I brought that up just to see if I could distract you with that picture.
That guy looks like a fucking turd.
No, I have a meme to go with that.
But I
just give me a minute. I'm gonna find it.
Anyway, so my buddy Lincoln, this is actually my favorite picture right here, went on. What the fuck is this?
Is that a walrus dong? I don't know. What is that?
I don't know. I'm intrigued.
Oh, you gotta go to that site.
I'm not going to that site. I'm afraid to go to that site. So, my buddy Lincoln meets a girl online, and they start chatting back and forth. And of course, she's sending him pictures, and he's sending her pictures, and he's sending his real pictures. She's not sending him real pictures. She's sending him pictures from whatever, right? And she's like, "Hey, you want to meet? We'll meet over at blah blah blah, like Starbucks or Bel Taco or one of the fast food places." So he's like, "Yeah, I'll meet you at whatever time." So he drives over there, and he does a flyby on the lot, just to see if she's there. And he sees a girl that looks like her, but he's not really sure. So he parks his car and walks by her and walks inside and orders whatever. And then as he walks out, she's like, "Are you Lincoln?" And he's like, "Yeah." So she starts talking to him, but the conversation basically went like this. She goes, "Oh, you don't look anything like what your pictures are." And he goes, "No, those are my pictures because I look exactly like that. See?" And she goes, "Well," and he goes, "But you, however, look nothing like the models that you had sent me."
Yeah.
I was already kind of aware that maybe you weren't going to be sending me real pictures, but it was kind of confirmed when I did a flyby and I see your gigantic fat ass sitting here in a chair, and then you accuse me of not looking like myself.
Isn't that supposed to be on the next episode?
Go fuck yourself.
He said that?
He did, and he walked away.
Damn.
I love Lincoln. What?
I just found the meme finally that I was looking for of this overly tanned, weird-looking guy.
Oh, you got to share that.
Just for everybody's enjoyment, I'm going to go ahead and share this on our Instagram and our Facebook page,
that
just
is
so
fucking
everybody
creepy.
sees what Mike ended up with on his stupid internet search and
I was
what it
trying to
made me
Did
think.
that guy die of skin cancer?
No.
No, that was probably fake tan.
Yeah.
I don't think I met anybody that did not.
Hulk Hogan. man.
all the
That
5 people that I met that didn't look like their photos, except for my husband.
If I send you my photos,
Am I gonna not know who they are?
Yeah, you would know who I am. But like, if I'm not in the mood to show you my recent pictures, I'll send you a picture of myself, but it's from a couple of years back when I actually colored my hair and shaved
Yeah.
for Halloween. Do I look different? Yes. Very much. But I do it on purpose because that's
The privacy thing.
Well, partially it's privacy thing, but those are set up specifically to see how many people are just swiping right or left.
Yeah.
You know, most of my pictures have me with my beard and my hat, my glasses,
Yeah.
Like how you normally look.
like how I normally look. And whatever. I mean, if it is what it is.
I wasn't catfishing. I wasn't being fake at all on my stuff, and people would still pester me. And I know that we've talked about this, that I would get the constant questions of, "Are those your most recent photos?" Like,
Yeah.
like how long ago was that photo taken? I'm
9
like, last week, motherfucker.
It was taken when I was 5.
Jesus Christ.
That happened to me with a prostitute I hooked up with once. I'm sorry, escort. Sorry.
Same difference.
Yeah, where she looked about 10 years older and probably about 50,000 cigarettes later. She was very, she was still attractive, but you could tell that she had definitely aged from the photos that she had on Backpage and Redbook. So,
Okay.
yeah. But it was just like, whatever. I mean, she still was attractive, so I just like, what am I going to do? I'm already there. You know what I mean? What am I going to say? You look a little older than your pic. You get a discount?
Can you give me a discount?
Can I get a discount?
Discount. See your discount.
Discount.
So yeah, no, look, I guess it could have been worse. I mean, it could have been way fucking worse, you know. So
Well, I just don't. I think the thing for me with the ghosting is just got to be something that's. I don't know if it's an immature thing. I don't know what it is, but I've just never really, I guess, understood the need for it, except for unless you have, I don't know, not a license and a DUI and want me to come pick you up on a first date when I'm 21, 22 years old.
I think it's easier for people to just completely ignore something than to deal with emotions and things head on.
I don't know if it's ignoring it, but yeah, in a sense,
It's like hoarding.
they don't want to deal
But
with
different.
emotions.
It's like me when with the Heidi chick. I should have just said, hey, I'm not. You know,
It's like putting newspaper over it.
I'm just not interested anymore. I'm not. You're not as attractive to me as I thought. I'm sorry. Have a nice life. I can't. It's hard for
I
me
found
to
somebody
do that.
better. Hey, I found somebody that wants to be in a relationship. Hey, I found someone who, I don't know, doesn't have a hat and a beard. I don't know. It's something like that.
I found someone that doesn't work for Walmart.
Yeah, I found somebody that works for Burger King instead of Walmart. So much better. Dude, there was a
More
dude
ambition.
that worked at Burger King for fucking years, and we would see him almost every single time we went there, all throughout our high school careers.
I know a
Bill.
guy.
Burger King Bill.
I know a guy that retired from like Carl's Jr.
Would you like
See?
an apple pie with that?
I know a guy that started working at was it Burger King? It was Carl's Jr. next down south. He was a friend of my ex-wife's friend, and
And he retired from there.
no, he was a manager. So he'd been working there for 10 years at that point. I have a buddy Tyson, and when he graduated high school, he went to work for Taco Bell, and like within a year or two, he was made manager, and then he became district manager for Taco Bell in this area.
So
And that's fine. I mean,
I hear
there's
that
nothing wrong with
managers at In-N-Out make a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, he was making pretty good money as a district manager for Taco Bell. I don't know if he's still with the organization or not. I could always look.
Starbucks has profit sharing.
That's not him.
I used to tell my boss that all the time when I worked for a different employer. When it was a bad day, I'd walk in and say, Starbucks has profit sharing.
So, yeah, I don't know if he's... my guess is that he's probably high up in the organization or moved on to another organization. But he, for... I don't know if it was 10 years, but for at least
Taking
7...
big strides when we were at El Polo Loco.
El Pollo Loco. I can't stand El Pollo.
Don't eat there. Anyways, so I didn't receive any questions on the ghosting. Did you receive anything?
No.
Okay.
No one gives a shit.
No one gives a shit about the ghosting.
Fuck
They
you
just
all.
don't want to be ghosted. They want to ghost everyone.
Go fuck yourselves, people.
And that's how we should end the podcast.
That's how we should. We should. Instead of cocktails out, it should be just go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourselves, America.
Go fuck yourself, San Diego. All right.
All right. I think we're wrapping it up.
All right. Cocktails out.